Hello everyone. Today I'm going to tell you about sovereignty, its most important characteristics. Sovereignty is the most essential part of a modern state. It has several characters. I will explain one by one to you. Number one is permanence. Sovereignty exists as long as the state survives. Governments may change, but sovereignty remains as it is. It is the lifeblood of a state. Hence, no state can exist without the existence of sovereignty. Simultaneously, sovereignty has no relevance without a modern state. Number two, inalienability. A modern state cannot be separated from the very idea of sovereignty. When it parts with sovereignty, it can no longer be a state. It loses its very identity without sovereignty. Leiber, a political philosopher, rightly said, sovereignty can no more be alienated than a tree can alienate its right to sprout, or a man can transfer his life and personality without self-destruction. So, sovereignty is completely inseparable from the state. So, sovereignty remains at the center of the state. Next, indivisibility. It cannot be divided. No one can divide sovereignty into parts. It is a whole. It can be divided further only at the cost of the state. However, powers within a state can be delegated to different organs of the state. But sovereign power cannot be exercised by more than one authority in a modern state. When it comes to a federal system of government, like we practice in India or in America, powers are distributed between two sets of governments, union and the state governments. But sovereign power is exercised from one single point by one individual only. So, a federal system of government does not violate or denounce the very concept of sovereignty. Another political philosopher, Calhoun, rightly remarks, sovereignty is an entire thing. To divide it is to destroy it. It is the supreme power in a state. So it's very clear now that sovereign power cannot be divided. Now, let me go to the next characteristics. That is absoluteness. Sovereign power is absolute. It has no limitation. That is why this element of sovereignty is also called illimitability of sovereignty. However, the power of a sovereign is limited by constitutional laws, international laws, and the global governance institutions such as the United Nations. We are all aware about it. Generally, there is no restriction on the sovereign authority. It is applicable both internally and externally. No individual or group or organization can limit its sovereignty within the state. Within the state, it is just supreme. Next characteristics, universality. It refers to the idea that all individuals and organizations within the four walls of the state are purely subject to the control of the sovereign. No authority can restrict the power of the sovereign. No one can simply disobey the laws passed by the sovereign. However, the diplomats of foreign nations enjoy special privileges in a state. But whenever it is required, the sovereign authority can curtail such privileges of diplomats. Thus, James W. Garner, an American political scientist, says, the modern state does not recognize the existence of any status quo person within its jurisdiction. Only one person holds it. There is no equivalent of that person inside the state. Next, imprescriptibility. The very concept of sovereignty can no longer be destroyed or lost in course of time, even if it is not exercised for a particular period of time. For example, during the British colonial rule in India, but it cannot be taken away by anyone. It may be exercised by a new authority or a person for some time, but it is not lost. Therefore, Garner again says, sovereignty cannot be lost by mere lapse of time, as property in land may be lost by prescription of private law. I mean, it doesn't go away, it is not lost, right? Next, originality. The sovereign power of a modern state is original. It emerges on its own and attached to only the state and to no other association or organization within the modern state. It only and only belongs to the state. This power is not made by any other. The last one, exclusiveness. The state is the institution in society which can exclusively enjoy this power. There is no other organization that has the right to hold this authority. Therefore, no institution or individual can be parallel to the state. All others are subject to the sovereign power of the state. It is the supreme power of the state only. So, this is how sovereignty is very exclusive to the modern state. No other authority, no other individual or organization can exercise, neither can exercise, nor hold or possess this power. Thank you so much for watching me. I'll again bring some of the fundamentals of political science and international relations to you. Thank you so much.